Hi, my name is Lee. I have been asked to show you how I feed my starter and that I make a stiff starter, and it's absolutely perfect. So with my starter and that, I've been having issues with it for the last 6 months, and I've tried everything under the sun, and that then I actually was looking and researched, found out that stiff starter, and that, which is a leave-in, I think it is, actually is better. So that's my results, and that from a stiff starter. I've already cut it up. I baked that last night. So okay, so in here we have some warm water, so we're going to create a brand new starter. I use these, I use the micro one, right? So that was like $1, and that at what we call is similar to the dollar store. This is, I use Wallaby Baker's flour here in Australia, and that's the only flour that I found that actually suits my sourdough. So literally we'll be doing, what is it, about a tablespoon of water, maybe 2, and that the same of the flour. So equal parts, and yep, chopstick. Okay, so this is a brand new starter that I'm making. It's up to you what you want to do, but I'm actually going to experiment and try and make a stiff starter from scratch. Make sure all your flour is combined. Push it down, whatever. And we'll come back tomorrow, all right, and feed it again. So literally 24 hours. And if she works, we'll have to give her a new name. So this will not be ready to bake with, and that for about 7 days. And that they say roughly 7 to 14 days, and that to get the bacteria and all that sort of stuff into them and out of them. Okay, so we'll do that. So that's a brand new one. This one, I'm going to show you how I make my stiff starter. So I already have some going because I actually have a friend who has an order. But this is the discard of Eva, so we're going to be using it. Yep, it's a glove. And we will get over that. Actually, it looks pretty good. It smells very acidic, so we might have to feed it twice and that before we can actually use it, but we'll see. Okay. So we're going to use roughly that much. We'll wing it. Pop it in. Maybe a little bit more. Not that much, Lee. So I don't use measuring anything, nothing. I go by sight. So about a tablespoon of flour. I might do 2. About a tablespoon of water. And we will be getting this out the jar and treating it like a dough. That's probably way too much. Way too much. Alright, I'll clean my mess up. I'm a bit hectic. Alright, so we're mixing that up. So I've just cleaned up the bench a bit because, as I said, I'm a bit hectic. Taking my jewelry off. Okay. Alright. Get this onto the board. as much as you can out of your jar. I usually like to rewash my jar. Because I like to have a clean home. And literally this is how I do it. Now this will take much longer to prove, okay, and rise, make it ready for baking and that, but this actually gives me I want to say a good 12 hours and that. So I usually feed it about now and tomorrow at this time again, so between 12 and 24 hours and that. I can usually bake with it. Like this here, I have a loaf and that I've got to do stretch and folds on that actually, so we'll show you that. And that was ready for this morning, so I started that at about 7 o'clock this morning. So that's the starter. We might clean the jar up because it's disgusting. Okay, so the jar's all nice and washed. All right, so it'll be nice and warm as well, and we'll throw that in. Put a band on it. Put Eva's lid on it. So while we're waiting, you can come and do some stretch and folds with me. So this is my second lot of stretch and folds, and that this one's going to be a cinnamon and sugar loaf. This is with a stiff starter. And I've never worked with the dough like this. I mean, yeah. And now that's light and airy. And look at the air bubbles. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. And she'll go and have a rest for another half an hour. Alexa, set timer for half an hour.
30 minutes. Starting now.
And like that, we're done. And now we'll go clean up the mess that I've made. Alright, so this is Eva, pink band. This is No Name. Okay, this is the new one that we're doing together. So we'll be back with this one tomorrow to feed again. And we'll be back with Eva and that to feed again. And that, or I'll show you how much she's risen, because this is one I'd like to just keep on the bench. And that, my big one over there. And that, her, this love. And that, she my bacon buddy. So out of this and that, you probably get about 3 loaves. And that, I roughly use about 100 grams to 150 grams. And that per loaf. So if you're interested in me showing you how I make my loaf, just let me know. Have a nice day.